sponsored by the Tonkawa Film Festival, celebrating short films from around the world. tonkawafilmfestival.com.
It feels great to be here at NewFest. I love being around people who are telling queer stories and being in queer spaces. It reminds me that we truly hold the key to resistance and transformation. What I really want audience to take away from the film is that we all have a role to play in dismantling the information that we absorb from the media and hopefully challenge our assumptions about what's true in the world, and I think that will fuel our resistance in so many ways. I think that films, documentaries, scripted, are a critical part of affecting change. We need to change the stories that people feel and see, and I absolutely think film is going to be a critical part of our movements for change. I really wanted to be a part of the film because I wanted to document our fight in this moment. We're seeing so many efforts to erase history, and so we want to leave down a marker of that history, and I also wanted to be sure that we're helping people understand that the information that they are receiving is ideologically trained on telling them a particular story, and we have a job to do, all of us, in challenging what information we receive and how we receive it.
It feels so great to be at NewFest. This is like the pinnacle of queer cinema in the festival scene and festival circuit. I'm watching the door right now, and it's like a who's who of trans folks, queer folks, who are all coming out for this. It just feels really great to have the community come through, and it shows that we are galvanized and we're gathering not only around art and beautiful work that Sam has created, but then also around this moment, this really important moment that we're only a couple of weeks away from getting the news from the Supreme Court, the decision on the Supreme Court regarding gender-affirming care and the Scrutiny case that's argued in the film. It just feels excellent to be here. It's recharging, it's exhilarating, it's energizing to be here amongst community, as we know that in June we're going to have some work to do. Something's going to have to happen. We may have to get back on that street in March, go back into the courts, whatever we have to do. And so this moment is sort of like a springboard, the trans trampoline into that moment, and it feels great.
And how does it feel to be here at NewFest?
Feels wonderful. This is my hometown screening, and Amy's second hometown screening. It feels great. To have the opportunity to bring all of our friends and family together, and at NewFest, nonetheless, a festival that has supported me for over 20 years. It feels very exciting and joyful at a time where it's really hard to find joy. Amy and I made a film that came out in 2020 that was looking at the rise of trans visibility, but we were concerned about the backlash that would ensue because there was a rise of trans visibility in a society that didn't understand what trans people were. At best, they had a distorted view of trans people. And 3 years after that film came out, we started making Heightened Scrutiny, which is a response to that backlash that has, in fact, ensued. First and foremost, I want audiences to understand that at this very moment, the Supreme Court of the United States is deliberating the future of trans healthcare for young people in Tennessee, but that will have an effect beyond Tennessee. I want people to know that is happening. I want people to understand the relationship between mainstream media and the ways in which they tell stories about trans people that contribute to the skepticism around our lives, and how that has a direct connection to the anti-trans legislation. And I also want people to understand that while the legal system is helpful sometimes, our ability to survive and to thrive does not begin and end with the legal system.
I think all of our stories can affect change. I don't think that we can depend on that, but I think we need to tell our stories in order to be seen and to really connect our lives with other lives. I think what we want the film to do is for people to understand, if they're not in the trans community, that what is happening to trans people now is going to happen to all people everywhere, that this is just the beginning.
This is the BTRP Media Network.